What's up, guys? I'm Automatic Jack. I'm here with a little more Horus Heresy Legions play. Today we got 3 warlords that I do not typically play. I wanted to highlight a couple of games, including what may be my favorite Alpharius game of all time. But first, let's look at Malcador and see how we do with him. Well, we know because we saw the spoiler, but this was an interesting game, and I think it's worth taking a look back at. So we draw pretty well on troops. We have 2 strong troops early on, and I kind of jumped the gun on that one, but now we are very good on troops. And we take a guess that he is going to prep for future turns. Helicopter directly outside my apartment. I don't know if you can do that or not, but if you can, perhaps the government has finally come for me. Alright, so we get the covert op out, and we go in on the idea that he is going to try to just bomb us with that damage and stun Malcador. Typically a pretty early troop plate, but he elects not to. He elects to pass completely. We have him totally set up. Once again, we go for the Eideken squad and decide to just throw a bunch of buffs on this covert operative. Keep it on the board for a little bit longer. Yes, it's out of stealth, but it's a 6-4 now. It's got precog. It's got survivor. It's hopefully going to stick around and do its work. He gets out an extremely early defense force against us. I think defense force here, we see the card that he used. Yeah, so it was as a result of Astral Incursion and his power, he got it down to a 6 cost, or even a, yeah, I think maybe a drilling site in there. I'm not entirely sure. Nope, just straight up ability, so gets it off at a 6 cost. We get a seal. He finally plays the Eideken squad, but it is not enough. We do manage to get the extra 5 damage into his face, and this is energy turn 6 for us, and he's already down to 13 health. Malcador is not usually thought of as an extremely fast deck, or his decks are not thought of as fast decks. This one really seems to be working out that way. So he's like, wow, this guy still has 40 HP. We have to try to hit him in the face, but oh, we also have to get rid of this covert operative before it hits us in the face. He does so. He trades. Still a pretty significant delta. Yes, he can stun Malcador, but all Malcador is really for there on the board is to soak some damage and to create some seals. And stunning doesn't really change the soaking damage part of it. So we flood. We get a Kel up so we can get some extra damage on his face when we need it. And we know that Ganimus is going to be big enough to get in there and finish it off after a Kel if he doesn't have anti-stealth. What does he play with his 8 energy? He plays a Desperate Defense. That is simply not going to do it for him, because Desperate Defense in this case draws one of the worst possible cards that it could have drawn for him. Just a 3/3, tiny little body, not enough to stop Roar from coming in and dropping that free damage, getting through the front line. As predicted, there is Roar. Ganimus is big enough to do the job after Kel takes his shot. We could have done it the cool way and let Kel finish him off, but we just have the Ganimus rushing and screaming, venting psychotropic drugs all over the place, waving his razor fingers. And that is our game with Malcador. So we have also a game here with Erebus. I wanted to show you. Erebus is a warlord that I have tinkered with a lot, and I have not had a ton of success. I think the word bearers are not in a great place now to begin with. Erebus is definitely not their strongest warlord. But we're playing against Corps, and we love any game that involves Corps. Corps is generally an awesome warlord. We go pretty early on removal instead of giving him the chance to get that bigger. Oh god, yes, this guy. So we're going to go ahead and mute chat because this guy burped delicious. The ruinous powers are not pleased. Several hundred times, conservatively estimating, during the course of this game. So we just mute him and we'll enjoy Corvax in relative silence. I'm telling you guys, if you are not interested in Erebus, if you just want to skip to the Alpharius, I won't blame you. The Alpharius game made me laugh out loud. It was an incredible Alpharius game. You will see why. So we decide we're going to get the Gorlem squad out. We're going to make our board a little bit bigger here. And if he knows what he's doing, he's going to get rid of that Wounded Zealot. We will see.
I'll send you to the Neverborn.
This was my response to his incessant burping. He is smart. He gets rid of the Zealot. Of course he does. There's really no question there. So we just decide, you know what? I think it is time to get more Zealots on the board. But I don't do that. Instead, I buff up the demon a little bit. So we get a 5/5 coming. I've heard from much better players than me that improving the demon too much is a trap with Erebus. That you should be looking at potentially buffing it 1, maybe 2 times, get some powers on it, and then let it come onto the board. Because otherwise you're just spending energy, and by the time you've spent 10 energy on the thing over 5 turns, it better do an awful lot. Like, it really, really better do a lot for you, because you've given up a ton of momentum early in the game. I mean, the chance to play most cards early in the game. So Erebus's power is useful, but it's not fast. It is a slow power. So you gotta find a way to use it that is going to actually benefit you over the course of the game. It's better to get this 5 damage into Corvax's face, better to hurt the Elemental at the same time, and that way we can bust his hand. We can get both of those things off and get some spawns. We're going to lose the spawn to poison anyway. It's unfortunate that it wasn't a 3 damage that he smashed into, but what can we do? Gets decently lucky with D-sets, right about what I expected. So, pretty standard D-sets. And then we went a little bit nuts. We did not think our plan completely through in these next couple turns. You'll see what I mean. We did not calculate the whole Zealot thing. So poor Sore Backpaw comes out to do his work and does not end up doing perhaps quite as much as he would have ordinarily. We draw an excellent answer to his Demon Brutes, though. So we're able to save our what's his face? God, I can't even think of his name. I don't play the deck anywhere near enough. Cephalon Squad. We're able to save that Cephalon Squad, and in doing so, still manage to resist Demon Brutes before they can use that Cleave and clear off our board. Cleave is very dangerous against Word Bearers. You have so many troops with relatively low health. Their Astartes kind of suck. I mean, they're useful in a lot of cases, but they're not high statted. Word Bearers Astartes are weak, and they play a lot of cultists, which are by definition very weak. So here's where we kind of screw up a little bit. Don't judge me. Well, go ahead and judge me. It's fine to judge me. But we make some mistakes here, definitely. Because in doing this, we create all of 1 spawn, and killing these guys off creates no more spawns. It simply creates Wounded Zealots because it goes in that order. We realized it is not going to help us much. Would have been better to do that first and to buff the Zealot before attacking with him, if nothing else than just that extra little bit. But Sore Backball stays on the board and does not get more demons off because he is about to die. And away he goes. Now he does, the enemy does use a Deceit on a Sore Backball. He's like a 3 energy card. So value-wise, I mean, we definitely traded up in terms of the energy usage there. We're doing this. We're creating these little spawns. Just little spawns over and over and over. We still got a spawn on the board. We're working on a new spawn. This is when Erebus's power can really kind of work for you. Just pump out spawns. I don't think he's there to make 1 gigantic one. He's there to make 2, maybe 3 medium spawns that have a Cleave or a Ward or something like that annoys the enemy, gives them more to deal with for a relatively low cost. I mean, this thing only costs 4, right? Like, Am I thinking about that correctly? Yeah, it's two to summon it and 2 to buff it. So it's still a 5/3 cleave for 4. That's very good. A 5/5 for 4 is very good. It's just very slow. So you're looking at creating them consistently throughout the game to give the opponent more to deal with. Like, usually a bunch of 5/5s are going to be way harder to deal with than, you know, like 199 or something like that. Like the 199, there's going to be a way around it. Like, he's going to have some kind of destroy a random troop that he can get through the ward with it. Something like that. We go for some sarcasm here. Just to do it. Ashen Circle is one of those really strong, kind of medium finisher cards. Not exactly a finisher, but if you have 2 in the deck, Ashen Circle can come out and really do some damage because you have so much capacity to generate cultists. Alright, our last game. I'm not going to heavily commentate this, but it is an incredible game. An incredible game. I love it so much. The Alpha Legion Mirror Match. How many warlords? The over-under is 6.5 warlords. Tell me in the chat, do you take the over or the under before watching this video? 6.5 warlords. Do you think there will be 7 or more, or 6 or fewer?
We are Alpharius. Greetings, I am Alpharius.
Hell, I'll give you 7.5. You can tell me if you saw the updated one. Alright, so we get 1 trap in the deck, and go with our plan, which is to immediately transfer. We want to draw as much as possible for him. Yes, he probably has Harrowings. We're going to have Harrowings. It's all going to be great. So he's already at a pretty decent hand. This is one of these everything is topsy-turvy games. You know, the enemy plays big troops, it doesn't matter, we stun him. The enemy has lots of cards, doesn't matter, it hurts him. So we know that he has score in his hand, and we don't have a score. We have an Ifrit Seekers. Score is very dangerous. We also notice, though, that he is playing a dangerous game. He has 8 cards in hand already. We can make him draw even more cards. He draws and draws again. We draw. He makes a trap.
You do what you must,
and it goes nowhere because he's already at 10 cards. We see he's at the magic number of 8 cards. That means that it is time for him to draw. Once again, everything that you'd think would help him, buffing up troops, drawing cards, comes back to haunt him. Full disclosure, this is like a 12-minute game, so buckle up. Alright, we get the stun off. You know, we've already got him up to 10 cards for his draw, so he draws nothing. He burns something out of his deck again. And he is just playing the stun roulette. Now, if we remember the last Alpharius game we played, I think it was a Plague Elite or something like that, where we just stunned the Plague Elite over and over and over again. And you know, that is the that is how we have to do this. We have got to stun this troop until it drives him out of his mind. He has a similar idea. It's like, well, you have your Seekers, we're just going to keep those locked down. Alright, so it's going to be Battle of the Lockdown. I've got Silent Death, I've got Silent Death, I've got Crushing Power, I've got the Instrument, I've got Stun. Let's go. Let's see who can stun who for longer. Yes, Crushing Power would have been a better option there. I acknowledge that. I didn't have a lot to play the turn, though, so I figured, you know what? I got 2 of these things in here anyway. I'll keep the Crushing Power if I have to do something big. Big, and also stun. He attempts to return the favor. But he is doing it one at a time, whereas we have blasts of stun. We have waves of stun that can come out and wash over his pathetic line. So here comes a quick instrument. Probably should have waited on that until it got even bigger. Would have been worth it to let it get bigger and bigger and bigger. And we make a mistake here, and we go ahead and stun his other guy, which I think was dumb. I don't think that was worth it to stun his other guy with the instrument. We should have been saving the instrument to just stun this, just to make sure that it was stunnable. We also notice he's managing to play cards, so his hand is only 6. The harrowing is not anywhere near as deadly as it could otherwise be. We've got no stun. We've got Omega to stun him as well. So forget loading your ability, Exodus. We're at 37 health. We're staying on board. And we play the Sleeper Operative, which I think was kind of dumb. I think it would have been better to just play the Ifrit Seekers to do extra damage to his face there. Like, no reason to have him leave stealth. We kind of figured he was going to harrowing. The thought behind that was, well, he's going to harrowing anyway, so who cares? We'll see.
We are Legion.
Another warlord. I hope you're keeping count. That's 3 for him and 3 for us so far. We go ahead and stun, and while he's got his guy on board, by his guy I mean our guy, the Sleeper Operative, we figured, hey, this is a good time that we can just, we can draw up a little bit. We can force him to draw. He didn't play harrowing next time, or last time. Maybe he doesn't have it. Maybe there's no harrowing at all. And if he doesn't, then it would be great to just go ahead and punish him. And punish him with
This is about victory. True victory.
Warlord number 7, if you're taking the over, you are starting to feel pretty good right now. Of course, anybody who plays Alpha Legion or has seen Alpha Legion would probably take the over. For 2 Alpha Legion Warlords, 7 is nothing. Alright, so he's got a big board assembled. We're running a little bit low on options. Except we have AoE. I'm not used to having really big AoEs. We have a monster. We have a monster AoE. We figure we'll stun his score, so at least we can keep it from coming out and getting attacked. And he does have a 12-3 on the board, but we have 27 HP. We have 2 one of many. We can get big again. We can get fairly gigantic. Alright, he's using the can't attack to its full potential, trying to stay in the game, while making his guy as big as possible. Now it's starting to get really threatening. Drops us down, and then slams us in the face here for 16 damage. I don't think I have ever won a game before where my warlord took 16 damage to the face and just shrugged it off. So we think, well, our only option, we gotta heal up. We gotta get some kind of healing in here. And we gotta stun this 16-5 before it can do more damage to us. And here we go with Alpharius. Let's go. Stealths up, buffs up, trying to get bigger, becomes Omega, so we can be stunned as well. Look at the Warlord cycle. We are playing every Alpha Legion Warlord here. We haven't played Ingo Peck yet. And is there a 4th one? There probably is, but he's so bad I don't even know who he is. Another Thunderhawk, even more stun, even more healing, another Warlord. How many Warlords can we play?
This is
I mean,
about
look at
victory.
this.
True
We're up to
victory.
22 HP again. We were down to 7. We must have taken something like 50 phase damage so far this
This
time.
is not a war
And
you
we've
can win
already
your
got
way.
more options in the hand. Oh, it's just
A
ridiculous.
harrowing is coming.
That's who I was thinking of dying at. Of course, the harrowing is coming, yes. The harrowing hits us,
All we needed to do.
but it's not enough. We had enough damage in the hand, and we could just drop him with hand damage. My favorite Alpha Legion game of all time, the most Alpha Legion-y of all Alpha Legion games. The Alpharius deck is super ridiculous. I don't think it's particularly effective, but it is really fun to play sometimes. Alright guys, well, it is late and I'm about to hit the sack, but I hope you enjoyed the video, saw some weird and wild replays. If you liked it, throw me a like. If you want to see more of my content, by all means, hit that subscribe button. And otherwise, I will see you in the next episode. This is Automatic Jack signing off.